Shocking war facts that school definitely didn't teach you, Part 1. During an 11-minute long standing ovation for Soviet leader Joseph Stalin, the first person to stop clapping was sent to prison. 68% of boys born in the Soviet Union in 1923 ultimately died due to World War II. D-Day was so violent that to this day, nearly 4% of all sand at Normandy Beach is made up of broken down shrapnel from the Battle of Normandy. The year before the start of World War II, nearly 3 million cars were made in the United States. However, factories were so focused on making war supplies that only 139 cars were manufactured in America over the course of the war. There are some Native Americans that sided with the Confederates during the Civil War, and some of them even owned slaves. Shocking war facts that school definitely didn't teach you, Part 2. Before his presidency, George Bush Sr. served as a pilot during World War II. During the war, his plane was shot down in a bombing raid against Japan, and everyone in his 9-man crew was captured, but luckily, he managed to escape. His fellow crew members were tortured, killed, and 4 of them were even eaten by Japanese soldiers. The youngest person to ever fight in the US military, Calvin Graham, was just 12 years old at the time of enlisting. He saw combat and was even awarded a Purple Heart Medal. But after being wounded, his true age was revealed and he was immediately discharged. In 1977, around 500 cars were mysteriously abandoned in a forest near Ardennes, Belgium. The source of these cars is heavily debated, but many believe that American and Canadian soldiers left them behind when they returned home from war. In 1776, a secret committee uncovered evidence that revealed that George Washington's bodyguard was planning to kill him. They then proceeded to execute him, and this secret committee would later become the CIA. In 1983, Soviet commanding officer Stanislav Petrov received a warning signal that indicated that there was an oncoming nuclear missile. However, Petrov felt that something was wrong with the signal and chose to disobey Soviet protocol, which required him to fire a missile immediately when a warning signal went off. It was later revealed to be a false alarm, but had he followed protocol and fired, a nuclear war would have broken out. Shocking war facts that school definitely didn't teach you, Part 4. During World War II, Americans were so suspicious of Germans that German Shepherd dogs were killed. When he knew that he would soon be home from a battle, Napoleon would specifically request that his wife not bathe for several days until they had sex. Napoleon wanted a lady in the streets, but a stank freak in the sheets. During World War II, the tallest German soldier, who stood a staggering 7'6", surrendered to the smallest British soldier, who was nearly 3 feet shorter than him. Many of the men who died in the Civil War were listed as missing because they were killed by explosions that immediately turned them into red mist. With no remains left to identify them, these men are still considered missing in action. Shocking war facts that school definitely didn't teach you, Part 3. During a sea battle between Uruguay and Brazil, Uruguay was low on ammunition, so they made cannonballs out of stale cheese they had on board the ship, and this actually led to them winning the fight. Plastic surgery was actually created during World War II by a surgeon who fixed soldiers' faces who had been shot in the war. During the Korean War, a group of Marines were low on ammunition and codenamed the delivery Operation Tootsie Rolls. However, the radio operator misunderstood and sent a mass delivery of Tootsie Rolls instead. A lot of people know the story of Adolf Hitler, one of the most evil people in history to ever live, but less know the story of William Hitler, his half-nephew who fled to the US, served in the American Navy, and was even awarded a Purple Heart Medal. Shocking war facts that school definitely didn't teach you, Part 5. In World War II, the USS O'Bannon came up alongside a surfaced Japanese submarine. The crew then threw potatoes at the Japanese, which mistook them for hand grenades, which gave them enough time to outmaneuver them and sink the sub. Although World War II ended in 1945, Japanese soldier Hiro Onoda didn't surrender until 1974, because he simply didn't know that the war had ended. In 200 BC, General Hannibal led his army across the Alps riding on elephants. Romans fought back by launching flaming war pigs, which scared off the elephants, leading the Romans to victory. After the British army bombed the Zanzibar royal palace and attacked the royal yacht, the Zanzibar Sultan surrendered just 40 minutes later, leading to the shortest battle in recorded history. German submarine U-1206 sank after its toilet overflowed. Shocking war facts that school definitely didn't teach you. Part 6. In World War II, Disney issued out Mickey Mouse gas masks that were intended to make the mask look less scary for children. M-U-R-D-E-R-M-O-U-S-E. In the 19th century, a French warship washed up on shore in northern England with a monkey dressed in an army uniform. The town had never seen a French person or a monkey before and concluded that the monkey must be a French spy. So naturally, they tied a noose around its neck and executed the damn thing. Since 1776, America has been at war 90% of the time, 222 out of 245 years. On June 20th, 1941, Soviet archaeologists uncovered the tomb of warlord Tamerlane, with the inscription, "Whoever opens my tomb shall unleash an invader more terrible than I." Just 2 days later, a man by the name of Adolf Hitler launched an invasion on the Soviet Union. Shocking war facts that school definitely didn't teach you. Part 7. In World War I, a carrier pigeon was shot, blinded, and had her leg blown off, but was still able to deliver her message, saving 194 soldiers. Diarrhea was the leading cause of death in the American Civil War, and they had a truce that said that you couldn't shoot someone that was pooping. Well, I guess I would have just taken a war-long shit. The most successful Nazi interrogator in World War II never actually physically harmed an enemy soldier. Instead, he would treat them with respect and kindness by letting them go on walks, visit their comrades in the enemy hospital, and even letting one captured pilot test flight an airplane. Virtually everybody talked. World War I could have ended hours earlier, but one man wanted to wait until the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. Ironically, 11,000 men were either killed or wounded, waiting for the truce to take place. Shocking war facts that school definitely didn't teach you. Part 8. After the Mexican victory at the Alamo, General Santa Anna felt invincible. So much so that he allowed his soldiers to take a midday siesta. And that's when a single rank of the Texan army snuck up and defeated the entire Mexican army in 18 minutes. In 1944, when Queen Elizabeth was 18, she was a driver and automobile engine mechanic in an attempt to support the British war effort. During World War II, Japan built a battleship that was 862 feet long. It was so big in fact that when it was launched, it sent a 4-foot tidal wave that flooded Nagasaki. A Viking chief defeated an Italian city by pretending to convert to Christianity and die. Before his fake death, he requested that he be given a Christian burial in the city, so they let him in. Once the funeral procession was in, he popped out of his coffin and attacked the city from inside.